stifled. I'm always so stifled here. Crystal, thank you for coming on the show. Can I interest you in a stuffed toy?
Maybe the purple one, it matches my dress.
Too bad. That's a really nice dress, by the way. I feel like I've seen it before. I think I may have seen you in a show before with this dress on. Is it a costume?
No, it's not. It's mine. I bought this.
You bought it?
Yeah, it's mine.
Where did you buy it?
It was custom made for me.
So then you didn't buy it.
Yeah, I did. I bought it. It was custom made for me.
Oh, well, who made it for you?
Some guy named Roberta.
Roberta?
Yeah.
I have a couple questions for you. We'll start off with a light one. Um, if birds are real, why do they look like they're paranoid all the time? I don't know what you're looking at them for. Is
I
there
don't
a
know how to
bird
answer
over there?
that question. I thought this was about something entirely different.
Oh,
Why
it
are we
is.
talking
This is
about-
just a warm-up question.
Okay, well, can we try something else?
Do you think bread ever gets tired of being sliced? Real question time. Okay, so Medea, you started as Medea in, well, titular play Medea, and you were also Jocasta in Oedipus Rex. I have a couple questions that are like about like that binary because that dichotomy is pretty interesting. I don't know if you would maybe agree like one character is her fate is entirely determined, whereas another she completely takes fate into her own hands, even though it is still kind of decided for her through this marriage. I'm talking about Medea now, right? About how
Okay.
like, oh, like Jason's leaving or whatever, and like he's gonna go marry this other chick for political reasons or whatever, and it's just like that.
Right.
Medea, instead of being like, oh shit, it's just fate, it's just destiny, like
What are you talking about?
kind of
Jocasta.
Jocasta?
Yeah,
Which one?
like that it's fate or destiny.
No, right. But like, okay, so one is like destined to do all the other stuff, and then the other is going against, I guess, what's mandated by like royalty in Greece. Like, oh,
Right.
I'm gonna leave you or whatever. So Jocasta, although she is unwilling, she is a victim to fate. And then Medea says, screw that, I'm gonna do my own thing. That's kind of like the position I was having. I'm like making these questions. So the first one, this is kind of just in reference to like your acting or like your process.
Okay.
Both characters make choices like audiences struggle with or might find like very shocking.
Okay.
I think you can agree to that. How do you approach playing someone whose actions might like repel or shock viewers?
I think those are the most interesting characters to play because there's a lot of meat in that character and those scripts. There's a lot to discover. So, my process is actually, there is no magic formula to acting. I think it's all about showing up, reading the script, asking questions, and then trusting my director. Like, I never show up to a rehearsal with a fully fleshed out character because I feel like I figure out the character as I'm going through the rehearsal process through that journey. And even when I'm on stage, like I'll discover something completely different during a certain performance. Like a line will suddenly make sense and I'll discover something about that character. Um, so I guess my answer is that, well, I guess that answered it.
Right.
Sorry, I'm
Okay.
going like in
Cool.
circles. But I don't even remember what I was saying.
No,
Now
well,
I'm
I kind of
confused.
like what you were saying right now about how you kind of like figure it out like as you go along. Obviously, it's kind of like just like the basic process things, but also how your director is there too. And even though the acting falls on the actor, I feel like it's still collaborative when you're doing that in front of your director. You know what I mean? So you're figuring it out together. And is it easier to share the load of these like weighty, tragic, intense characters with your director? Or is that something you'd rather like take on entirely yourself?
I don't like to ask for help, and that is true about like me as a person and me as an actor. I will ask for feedback, but I actually during my acting process, I do the kind of old school controversial thing, which is that I really like to get deep into those emotions and maybe torture myself a little bit beforehand. Yeah. So like, there's different methods now for how you get to a certain emotion. Um, but me, I choose to just uh suffer through it. And so I really try to put myself in that headspace of the character. Um,
Can I
and
ask you how you go about doing that? Like, do you like listen to like tragic music? Do you
Okay, well,
expose yourself to like,
yeah,
yeah,
I was about to say that is like I have playlists and
okay,
like I
cool.
mean they're old playlists, but like playlists where it's like and sometimes it's just one particular song like on repeat that will put me into that headspace and it's like while I'm getting dressed or right before the performance and I'll just have that in my head or I will this sounds crazy. I will put myself in these fake scenarios
Mhm.
and it can be like completely unrelated but it'll be like oh thinking about the death of like a family member
Uh-huh.
or a friend and then like it hasn't happened
Mhm.
but it's just something
Yeah.
that I'll put myself through
Mhm.
just to achieve those
You
emotions.
are acting as if though, yeah,
Yes, yeah, to
acting.
get there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
acting.
That's really, really cool. Is like I also make playlists too for myself whenever I'm writing or something like that. Like if it's like a specific project and it's like a stupid comedy, I have like a playlist of just a bunch of like underground hip hop or like dumbass rock music or something like that,
Yeah,
or like really triumphant music for other projects or whatever. So that's really cool.
yeah.
The music thing is really, really interesting. Do you listen to like things with like lyrics or do you prefer like ambiance kind of like creepy? Because I would think like with Medea it'd be something fucking like intense, maybe like an
it
orchestra.
Yeah, it really just depends on the character that I'm playing. But I remember specifically for Medea that we had a cast playlist and we all had to add a song to this playlist for ourselves, for our characters, but then we also had to find a song for the other characters that we thought,
That's really cool.
personified them. So that was something neat that
Right.
Robert asked us.
That's your director, Robert Doyle's?
Yes,
Cool.
our director Robert. He asked us to do that as part of the table work process,
That's awesome.
and so I thought that was really cool, really unique, and that's something that actually I do now with
Mhm.
my students.
Yeah.
So that really did help during the
Mhm.
process, especially during that time. It was
Yeah.
such a weird time for COVID, and we weren't doing the play traditionally, it
Yeah.
was being filmed, which I was nervous about because usually, for theater, it's like you just do it and it's gone and it just lives in the heads of the audience members. But then this was going to be filmed and it was going to be put on the internet. And
Yeah.
that made me kind of nervous, especially that, we had such a limited time to work on it
Right.
too. And I was not used to doing just, one full take uh, for productions, right? And so, to this day, I know this is terrible. I have not seen any of the episodes, but
No.
it's just,
No, you're
yeah, I
lying. Are you
have not seen
serious?
any of them. I don't like to watch myself.
Yeah, well, I mean, I get that. I'm not going to see this. I won't see this myself. You know what
Yeah.
no, I get it. I completely get
And
it.
it has nothing to do with like, the production, like,
Mhm.
me thinking that it was bad or anything. Cause I had a great time and I thought it was great. And I feel also just because I lived it that I don't have to rewatch it. But like anything that I'm in, I don't like to watch.
Right, yeah. Chicken nuggets or chicken fingers?
Nuggets.
Nuggets?
Nuggets all the way.
Okay, like a specific shape or just like any kind of nugget?
I don't know what it is, but it's like the shape of the McDonald's nuggets. Like it just really does it for me.
They're not really shaped like anything.
Yeah, and that's great.
Oh, well, there's one that's kind of shaped like a boot. You know which one I'm talking about? It's like,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really look at them. I just kind of shove them in my
it's
mouth.
like, yeah, totally. Here, you get this now because I remember I asked you and I told you no rudely, and I think, I think
Aw,
you're cool enough to have it now.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Okay, now for the real question. Did either role, being Medea or Jocasta, change the way you think about power and or fate?
Oh my God. Well, Jocasta was 10 years ago. Okay. Oedipus was 10 years ago. I don't know if my old brain can remember how I felt about it at the time. But what I do think now is that I do believe in fate. And I don't think that you can outrun that. Like sometimes you're just doomed to that, just like Jocasta was. She experienced a lot of tragedy, before uh before Oedipus, before any of that. So I don't know.
Okay.
Um,
So you
I
really
guess
so
with well, And then there's, the opposite of that, which is Medea. Medea, she completely uprooted her whole life for Jason.
Right.
Like
Absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, she
totally.
was a princess. She was a princess. And she left her whole life, you know, uh to marry Jason and to be with Jason. And then he decides that he's going to go and marry somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And there's that complete betrayal. And I mean, I'm not justifying what Medea did because what she did was horrific, but I can understand her.
Right.
And so throughout the process of being Medea, um, I don't want to say that I experienced something similar. Okay.
I certainly
without
hope not. No,
without
yeah.
without giving away too much.
I'm
But
sorry, you don't want to spoiler. You don't want to spoil a 4,000 or like
no,
3,000-year-old
my life,
play.
my life.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Being betrayed and giving up, a lot of things, sacrificing a lot to be with someone, and then they completely betray you, and then they try to frame it as something that makes sense. That's political. Jason was trying to do that, saying,
right.
"This is great. This is going to be great for me." And so Medea is really, cold and calculated. And, everything she does, she's 3 steps ahead of everyone, and so, of course, she is conflicted, with the love of her children. Um, and so she doesn't want to, you know, kill them. She debates back and forth,
Right.
but ultimately she decides that what she wants more is vengeance. So I think Jocasta was trying to preserve her family unit. She was trying to get Oedipus to stop asking questions. And Medea just wanted to completely,
Burn everything down.
yes. I mean, she had already burned down all her other bridges. So what did she have to lose?
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I kind of want to circle back to like what you said about like fate. I guess just with you like personally defining fate. When you say fate, do you mean like something that is like predestined, almost like etched in the stars, or do you think a person is doomed to their fate based on who they are and their actions that they can't get past? So I guess what I'm asking is like, is the fate and destiny that you're talking about actually like some kind of like metaphysical supernatural thing that is going to happen, or is it we're just doomed to be ourselves and it was inevitably going to get there?
It's kind of crazy because I feel like it's a bit of both. And I don't know if that answer makes any sense,
That's
but
not that crazy.
I feel like there are some things that are, metaphysical and predetermined for us. But I think also it's just, with our actions and our choices, maybe,
Mhm.
mm, I don't know.
Like, do you believe in signs?
Signs, yes,
Yes, because
all the
I do.
time.
I do. I can adhere to a sign. Like a part of me knows that it's like I sorry to bum anybody out, but like I think nothing matters and we're all gonna die and nothing means anything. But that is kind of also why I like seek out signs as somebody who's like an existentialist. I try to seek my own meaning or whatever. So whenever I do see a sign, specifically like a drive-in sign for Taco Bell, I'm like, well, that's a sign that
Okay.
I need to get a 5-layer beefy burrito
Mm-hmm.
right now. Or if one of you can go get me a, oh, it's not in the budget. Sorry. We're in shambles here. But yeah, no, I mean, like getting serious again. Like, yeah, like I mean, I believe in science. I do. I think it's just the human in me that wants to think or wants to feel like it's supposed to be this way. You know what I mean? That there is some kind of like weird engine or animus that like makes it seem like there's something bigger than me out there, turning gears, turning switches, turning wheels. That's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think that too.
That's so crazy. We've been here for hours, as indicated by our shift in positioning, because it's just going so well. Let's move on. If I could just get to my questions here. Okay, cool. So this question's kind of a two-parter. If Jocasta, I'm so like covering my face. If Jocasta and Medea could speak directly to each other, what would they say to each other? And then secondly, if Jocasta and Medea can speak to the modern day woman, what would they say?
Oh man.
So I guess let's start with each other.
If they could say something to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Would they
How it's
like
gonna.
each other?
I think they had a lot in common, but Jocasta was trying to preserve her family unit and she wanted Oedipus to stop asking questions and stop trying to find the truth of things.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think we get to, a point where everyone knows the truth and we're trying to put the pieces together, I think at that point it becomes this it comes to this boiling point where people can no longer deny the truth.
Right.
And I don't think Jocasta could live with what would happen after.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why she decides to commit suicide. But I don't know if they would like each other. I don't think they would necessarily agree on things because Jocasta will, eliminate herself and Medea wants to come out on top.
Right. Right. These are two different characters
Right,
handling their quote unquote destiny very differently.
right.
Right. One is kind of
So,
denying it and the other one's like, fuck you, I'm gonna have it my way. Yeah.
oh, so you answered
So
the question.
yeah, I guess so.
That's what they would say to each other.
I'm such a great host. I answer the questions before the guests do.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. This what we call steering in showbiz. That
I've never heard of
showbiz.
that.
Right? Yeah, I know. Moving on. So then what what would they say to the modern woman?
Oh,
Like I guess if they could like send like a selfie or like a little pre-recorded
oh
selfie
my
video to
God.
like the modern day, like what would the message
I
be?
feel like Medea would be like, can I cuss?
Yes.
She'd be like, stand the fuck up, bitch. Like, get the fuck up,
Absolutely.
you know?
I absolutely think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jocasta, oh my God. Actually, you know what? I don't know what she would say. Maybe we have to, reboot the production to see if I could figure out this question, do some more character work. I don't know. What do you think she would say?
I kind of agree with you. I mean, I guess kind of backtracking here a little bit. Like I personally can't imagine like Jocasta and Medea going to brunch anytime soon. You know what I mean? And like
Right?
having a lot to talk about. But I think to each other, there would be some kind of element of support because I do think that, I mean, and it's probably going to be stupid coming from me, right? But like the plight of the woman in those times, you know what I mean? I would think that they would want to fucking stick together and be like, yo, this shit sucks. These dudes blow. You know what I mean? Like, you got this, whatever. But also, kind of like how you astutely pointed out, like, they're handling things differently, like Jocasta's kind of in denial and just trying to like keep
Then
things hidden, but and then Medea is kind of like fuck that, fuck this, fuck you. I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna be a bad bitch and all this shit. And like I mean, like more power to you, right? But it's just I don't know. Like
then
have
maybe they'd be like the perfect friends.
yeah. Well, then do you think that maybe instead of what would they say to the modern woman, and I'll follow this up later with a really dumb question, but do you think instead of maybe saying something to the modern woman, what do you think that they would ask the modern woman?
Ask the modern
Yeah, like
woman.
if they could like open up a portal into the future and they could ask women in general today,
Uh,
like what would that question be? Do you think they would ask like have things
they'd be
changed?
like, "Oh, what's a credit card?"
Or is there what's a credit card?
Right?
Is the patriarchy done and is it a
No, of
total
course not.
no, yeah, see, there you go. I don't think like but yeah. Okay. Moving on. Next question. I told you it was gonna be really stupid. Who would win in a cage match? Jocasta or Medea?
Well, Jocasta's pretty resilient, and
I
she did endure abuse from her husband, but
Mhm.
I think Medea hands down because Medea is always, cold and calculated, and she's ruthless, and she would do anything to win.
Would she like cheat?
Of course she
Do you
would.
think that she'd like gouge
Of
eyes
course
and
she
stuff?
would. It doesn't matter to her. Plus, she would probably she'd use poison.
That just
She's a witch. She'd use poison.
But this is a cage fight.
So you can't use poison in a cage fight. You don't think she would? You said would she cheat? Maybe she'd have it like in her shorts or like in her braid or something. She'd pull it out.
Okay. Well, you don't think it'd be a lot smarter and more conniving to poison her before the fight? Because isn't that kind of like what she did in the play anyway?
Yeah.
Right? She poisons the items and then sends it to them or
sends the
whatever.
gift.
Yeah. So it's
over to the
like,
princess.
because I feel like
or whatever
Medea
she's-
would be like, "Hey, man, I'm really looking forward to this fight. After I know we're gonna be like best friends, best girlfriends, whatever. Take this inconspicuous seafood tower that I bought you before the show, and or before the cage fight, and have fun." And then she would eat it, and then she'd probably just get the shits during the fight. I think
Maybe.
that because like you don't want to see her like rip
Maybe.
out a thing like right there like in the middle of the fight. Like
I mean, why not? She doesn't care. At the end of there's different versions of the script.
right.
But at the end, she gets like carried away like in a chariot.
Oh yeah, by a god.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who's like her uncle or something.
that is called a Deus Ex
Helios.
Machina. That is a Deus Ex Machina. What? I'm sorry, my
It's
production
drawn by
team's-
dragons.
It's drawn by dragons.
The chariot.
The chariot's drawn by dragons? No way.
I think in our version, I think she just banishes Jason.
Yes, that is everybody should totally check out the STC adaptation of Medea, directed and adapted by Robert De Hoyos. It ends with Medea banishing Jason, and everybody lives happily ever after, with the exception of a few. Cool. What other questions? I don't think I have any other questions for you. I'm sorry for being a really bad host.
Yeah, you're terrible.
Oh, here we go. This is a really good one. Okay. So, if Medea and Jocasta had social media, who would have the most followers and who would have the most likes?
I feel like this would be great on TikTok as like a story time.
Mhm.
So like Jocasta would be like story time about the time
Like
that
doing
I
like makeup
married.
and shit?
Yeah.
Like as she's
yes,
like, yeah,
They're doing
that'd be
like a
kinda cool.
get ready with me while I tell you about the time that I that I married my son, and had his children.
Oh my god. Well,
And he murdered his own father, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And how I found out about it.
Mm-hmm.
And Medea would be like, I don't know if she would do a get ready with me. I think she would just be like, I don't know.
I just hope she
I
wouldn't
feel like
be
she'd be driving or something, and she'd just
Yeah.
like,
something like
reckless.
that. Like in her car.
Yeah,
Like in her car.
in her car, in her chariot.
Shades on. In
Yeah.
her chariot. In her chariot.
Yeah, and she would just,
In her chariot because she got
Yeah.
away with it.
and she's like, let me tell you about the time that my man tried to leave me.
And I fucked his shit up.
Yeah.
I like
And
that.
I poisoned his mistress and killed his children. Our children.
Okay, so whose TMZ interview would be better?
I feel like Medea's would be more juicy because people just love murder stories.
That's
Suicides are interesting. Jocasta commits suicide.
yeah.
And I mean, Oedipus does gouge his eyes out. But I think, people are drawn to like murders.
Yeah, I mean,
Crime.
it's kind of crazy that we like kind of like idolize these like people who do these like heinous things. And I know that like Medea was like royally screwed over, not excusing what she did, right? We've already said that. But yeah, a lot of people I think would kind of look at her like a
A bad bitch.
a bad bitch. Yeah, right. They'd be like, "Oh my gosh, she's like Gypsy Rose
Yeah.
Blanchard or whatever."
Yes.
Exactly. And
But
then,
Gypsy Rose, we understand why she did it,
yeah.
right?
Yes. Yes.
Right?
Right. And it's like
Luigi,
It's
we
hard-
understand why
it's
he
hard
did
to
it.
feel
Do we
bad.
condone it? No.
Yeah. Hold on.
What the? That's disgusting.
I'm sorry.
Can we end this? Can we stop this? I bought this dress. I paid for it.
You didn't.
Like, you legit have boogers. Like, that's disgusting. You promised me a script. The crew promised me a script, so where is it?
The crew promised
me a script.
There's like a guy. You're telling me a crew promised you a script?
Okay.
One guy?
Well, a guy is enough. A guy's enough.
It should be. You know what? I like that. A guy is enough. I'm enough. Can we say that? Can we say that I'm enough?
No, you know what? I take it back. Because this is trash. You are not enough.